How you guys doing? Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. This video is my official entry into Thanatos Comics contest. He is running a contest to acknowledge his 250 subscribers on YouTube and his 500 followers on Instagram. Thanatos is one of my favorite guys online. I talk to this guy literally almost every day, mostly on Instagram. That's our primary means of communication. He's got a great collection, which is very different from my collection in the sense that he's more of a DC guy, specifically Green Lantern. And I only own maybe 3 or 4 DC books in my entire collection, none of which are Green Lantern. But he and I have developed a friendship and an appreciation for one another's collections. And so I like this guy. He's doing this contest, and there was no way that I wasn't going to enter this contest to help him continue growing his page. So I encourage you to head over to his page, give him a subscription. Also check out some of his wonderful videos. If you're a Green Lantern fan, if you're a DC person, you will absolutely love it. But Thanatos is running this contest, and it's really about trying to give something back to the community, something that I've spoken about in my videos and certainly something that I appreciate. What he's trying to get people to do is to talk about a storyline that others may or may not have read in an attempt to kind of expose people to different story arcs, different characters that they may find interesting. So I think it's a really good idea. I turned him on to a story arc that he went out and read. It was something that he would not have looked at otherwise, and I think he actually enjoyed it, which I think is wonderful, right? Because sometimes you need a little bit of a nudge to go outside of your comfort zone. So maybe one of these days I'll actually read a Green Lantern book. He keeps making recommendations, so maybe one day I'll actually take a look at it. But go over there, take a look at his contest, look at his content, and maybe you'll actually enter the contest yourself. So the story arc in the book that I want to talk about is one that is near and dear to my heart. I have a feeling that if you have not read this, you are absolutely going to love this story arc. It is Darkhawk #1. No, I'm joking. It's really not. I wanted to show this book. Darkhawk, for some reason or another, has taken up residence in my mind from when I was a kid. And I remember Darkhawk being really, really good. As an adult, I went back and read this, and it is not very good. Not very good at all. So I do not recommend this, but I do have #1 through, I don't know, some crazy number. Somehow I became fascinated with Darkhawk and bought a lot of Darkhawk back in the day. Maybe it was because he had some overlap with Spider-Man. Maybe that's why I started to read him. My entry is not Darkhawk. All right, so what is my entry? My entry is, in fact, something that is near and dear to my heart. It is something that has been in my possession since I was a kid. It captivated me as a teen. And when I went back and reread it as an adult, it was still as good, if not better, than what I actually remember. It's what Thanatos actually talks about in his contest setup, and it is Thanos Quest by Jim Starlin. Jim Starlin is actually the creator of Thanos, and I'm actually hoping to meet him in June at a comic con here in Oakland. So I actually reread this story, as I mentioned, probably 3 months ago. Fantastic storyline. I was a huge Thanos fan back in the day. I remain a huge Thanos fan. This storyline, his obsession with death and his willingness and desire to do whatever it takes to actually win the affections of death it's an interesting story. It really is. If you have not read it, I encourage you to read it. If you've read it, I encourage you to reread it again. And we know that right now Thanos is super hot right now because of everything that's happening with the Avengers movie, which I have yet to see. Hope to be able to see it this weekend. But a lot of attention being paid to this guy, and I think rightly so, because he is an incredible character in the Marvel Universe. So this book has literally been in my possession since I was a kid. You can see the grade. Got an 8.5 on this. So I have Thanos Quest 1 and 2. I've gone out and bought the Infinity Gauntlet to support the one that I had from when I was a kid. Also another great storyline. If you haven't read that arc, Infinity Gauntlet, I encourage you to do so. I'm actually hoping soon to read the Infinity Watch, because I haven't read that since I was a teen. So I want to go back and read that, because we'll see whether how far this good feeling spreads to these various titles. But again, if you haven't read it, I highly encourage you to do so. I also encourage you guys to go and check out a couple of guys I'm about to mention right now. There are two of them that I want to talk about that have amazing content that you may find either informative or entertaining. The two guys I want to shout out: DS Comics. I love this guy's content. I've watched, he has only a couple of videos, but I've probably watched a few of them, maybe 3 times or so, because some of the nuggets that he has in there I found compelling. So DS Comics, I encourage you to go check him out. The other is Rogue 121. Rogue 121, another great guy, great content. He's oftentimes commenting on my videos, so I want to make sure that I show him some love as well. So Thanatos Comics, DS Comics, and Rogue 121, and of course, my man Thanos. Take care, guys.